This is your news source evening bulletin for Monday, the 20th day of June in the year 2022. I'm Gordon Mosley reporting, and here's what we're tracking tonight. Vice President Jagdeo is continuing to deny allegations by Chinese businessman Su Zhirong that bribes would have to be paid to the vice president to guarantee business dealings in Guyana. The vice president's latest denial follows the airing of the Vice News investigative story on alleged acts of corruption in Guyana, titled Guyana for Sale. The news segment was aired on Sunday on the Showtime cable network and featured a hidden camera operation with undercover persons posing as Chinese investors.
To find out whether the highest levels of Guyana's government are involved in corrupt deals, we went undercover. My colleague, who we'll call Mr. Chan, posed as a Chinese businessman looking to invest in Guyana. I posed as his secretary.
We've been with these guys for literally a few hours, and they've already told us that if we invest here, they can help us out with the business because they have really good relationships with the heads of state in this country.
In one part of the story, the Chinese businessman Su Zhirong, who rents a house from the vice president and lives just next door, is seen taking the undercover investor inside Mr. Jagdeo's home and meeting with Mr. Jagdeo himself. The entire meeting was captured on hidden camera.
Do you understand our deal in detail?
No. I'm not getting involved in business. You get the support. Su is my friend. He gets all the support. Su deals with all the agreements. I don't.
I understand.
The thing is that my thing is that I'm in government.
I understand.
So I assist from government side.
I know.
That's it.
Su interjected, telling us this wasn't the place to talk about the bribe.
因為佢由頭都係啦，即係我要知道，即係啲錢係入咗佢嗰度先得㗎。如果唔係 ，Okay. Thank you so much for giving me time. I hope I can see you again.
Yes, definitely.
Thank you.
In an earlier part of the report, the Chinese businessman details to the undercover investor how alleged bribes would have to be paid to the vice president.
咁領到嗰度係擺落邊個戶口度啊？即係轉落邊？
我到咗歸啦，我會攞現金俾佢，唔係咧令到方便呢邊要錢啊，手續咧一定要完善，不管任何人都冇權力去刁難我哋嘅。
蘇大哥，喂！
喺圭亞那咧，咁關係嚟講，你想做乜嘢咧？你話聲俾我聽，應該冇乜問題嘅。我同副總統所有部長啊嗰啲都好關係。
Su openly bragged about his influence with the vice president, who owns the house that Su lives in and who he refers to as his boss. And he says he can help us in Guyana for the right price.
之後啊，個俾幾多錢，話嗰個利是係幾多，呢個講即係同埋嗰個嘅關係。
我陣間直接即係領導真係副總統係咪？係領導有份。嗰啲錢，因為我同你合作咧，老闆佢亦都唔會係咁問你攞錢，即係手續費啊嗰啲，老闆咪又遲咁睇開啲。
Vice President Jagdeo has repeatedly denied the allegations of bribe taking, and he's now threatening to sue the Chinese businessman and evict him from his property. More news when we return.
How fast is fiber? Think fast. GTT Fiber has 3 packages with download speeds of 50, 100, and 150 megabits per second. That's fast enough to stream movies and music, to chat with Gran and Fran, to study, and more. What would you do? Upgrade to GTT Fiber today and don't get left behind tomorrow.
Doors and windows, Republic. Rooms and more, Republic. A brand new rug on the floor. Come to Republic, come to Republic. Whatever you need, you got it. Come through and get your mortgage. Live the dream with Republic.
95 to 100% financing, 50% waiver of negotiation fees, plus one lucky person gets their mortgage paid in full. Turn someday into today. Talk to Republic Bank about your low-cost mortgage today.
Get a chance to win a brand new Toyota Race when you apply for a home loan. Get pre-approved by applying online, in bank, or at the Building Expo. Apply now! Promotion ends July 24 and the drawing will take place on the final day of the International Building Expo. Here's your chance to win and drive home a Toyota Race. GBTI, we see Guyana through your eyes.
Sunshine snacks, cheese balls, grab a sunshine, double cheese balls. We a crunch pan a cheese balls. Daddy nickel pick, double cheese balls. Sunshine snacks, cheese balls, grab a sunshine snack, cheese balls. Stuff cheese in every bite, flavor in every crunch. Extra cheese in me love it so much. Love cheese in every bite. Grab a sunshine, double cheese balls. We a crunch pan a cheese balls. Daddy nickel pick, double cheese balls. Sunshine snacks, cheese balls.
Grab a Sunshine Snacks Cheese Puffs today. More cheese, more flavor.
Get in the game with Buster. Win a full gaming setup, Xbox X, gaming chair, gaming speaker and headset, or any of over 60 weekly prizes like Oculus Quest 2, Mini 2 drone, Nintendo Switch, and many more top gaming prizes. Check below for details.
Let's tell you now that opposition leader Aubrey Norton has issued a call for the Vice President Bara Jagdeo to step aside or for President Irfanali to fire him, following those allegations made in a Vice News broadcast by the Vice President's friend and tenant Su Jingrong. In the undercover video recorded meeting in Mr. Jagdeo's home, the Vice President, while saying that he will not get involved in the business, guaranteed the undercover businessman that he will get the support, adding that Su is his friend and he gets all the support. Mr. Norton now wants the Vice President out of the picture so as to facilitate an impartial investigation.
The opposition believes that VP Jagdeo should do the decent thing and resign to facilitate an unbiased investigation. Failure to do so should result in the President relieving him of his appointment as Vice President and ordering a full investigation into the allegations against him. Failure of the President to do so will further indicate that the PPP is a corrupt outfit that does not only facilitate corruption, but it is itself corrupt.
The opposition leader said he will be engaging the international community on the matter, adding that there are several factors that raise serious questions about the Vice President's conduct.
Why is it this wasn't done in the government office, that is the official office? Why is it done in the home of the disgraced Vice President? That's the first question. The second question, why should the Vice President be telling an investor, I ain't gonna make the deal, somebody else will. I can just guarantee you government support.
And Mr. Norton shrugged off suggestions to deal with the matter at the level of the Parliament, expressing his view that not much will be done at that level. He does not have confidence in the Guyana police force to investigate the accusations either.
A proper investigation, that is the task of the police. Of course, we are worried if the Guyana police force will investigate, because politically they have been compromised, and that is why we are saying a credible investigators need to be used, even if it is outside of Guyana. But we think that there is much there to be investigated.
Vice President Bara Jagdeo has attacked the Vice News agency for having an agenda. He made similar claims during the sit-down interview with a journalist when he was confronted about his friendship with Mr. Su and his alleged involvement in corrupt acts. He's also threatened to sue Mr. Su. Well, in response to the claims of corruption within the Guyana government, as highlighted in the Vice News Guyana for Sale report, the U.S. Embassy in Guyana today said accountability and a level playing field are critical for investor confidence. In a statement to news source Guyana, the embassy said the U.S. has long been an advocate for anti-corruption and rule of law in Guyana, as well as free press, adding that consistent with Guyana's laws, accountability is the soundest approach to maintain confidence in government and a level playing field for all investors. The Vice News Agency is a U.S.-registered media company. Its documentary-style news reports are aired on the U.S. cable network Showtime. In the report on Guyana, which was aired on Sunday, Vice News used persons posing as Chinese investors to meet with a close friend of the Vice President and eventually with the Vice President himself about investment opportunities and business dealings in Guyana. The Vice President has denied any wrongdoing and has threatened to take legal action against his friend and tenant Chinese businessman Su Ji-rong, who accompanied the undercover Chinese investors to meet with him and who was caught on camera explaining that bribes would have to be paid to the Vice President to guarantee some business deals in the country. Vice President Jagdeo was also interviewed for the news report and denied taking any bribe or being involved in acts of corruption. The report also focused on China's influence in Guyana and other countries in the hemisphere through various multi-billion-dollar investment projects. The U.S. has been paying close attention to China's growing influence in its geographical backyard and has also expressed concern of its own about the growing level of corruption in the region. The opposition is calling for an independent international investigation of the claims made in the Vice News investigation about corruption in Guyana. In separate statements, the People's National Congress Reform and the Alliance for Change both called for independent investigations, while expressing concern about alleged acts of corruption in the government. In a statement, opposition spokesperson on legal matters, Member of Parliament Senior Counsel Roysdale Ford, said the situation cannot be decoupled from recent international assessments about the rising alleged corruption in all sectors of the country since the return of the current government. Mr. Ford said no amount of denial and public relations spin can remove or wash the latest scandal away. He said there should be an independent investigation and the Vice President needs to resign. In its statement, the Alliance for Change said there should be an immediate investigation also, and audit into the procurement and awarding of contracts in Guyana, in wake of the claims made in the Vice News investigation. The Alliance for Change is also demanding that a leading internationally recognized auditing firm conducts the investigation. According to the opposition party, the awarding of contracts to extract the country's natural resources must comply with standard international best practices, the laws, and the regulations of Guyana. The AFC said the Vice News investigation story is a welcome revelation, which must be used to address concerns of corruption in the country. Turning now to the mining sector, following the latest death of a gold miner in a mining pit accident, the Guyana Gold and Diamond Miners Association today appealed to miners to adopt safer practices. The association today expressed its sadness over the recent death of miner and dredge owner 64-year-old Donald Gavaya, who perished after being trapped in a mining pit collapse at Mykobi Back Dam in Region 8. In a statement, the GGDMA said it urges the adaptation of practices and technology that not only increases the productivity, but also the safety and health of workers. The association emphasized that miners must pay particular attention to operating standards and safety procedures in all phases of mining, and it made a call on its members and miners to take necessary precautions to ensure safety standards are followed. The association has reiterated that the mining sector is a high-risk hazardous industry, and as a result they are urging miners to follow good occupational health and safety practices. The GGDMA said over the years it has always appealed to its members and the general mining community to adhere to and implement good safety practices. The association said the role of proper and sound planning in ensuring better productivity and safety should be well recognized, and that based on the results of the various commissions of inquiry into mining incidents, they believe that many of the incidents that resulted in fatalities could have been avoided with better planning. The association said it is committed to working with the GGMC, that's Guyana Georgian Mines Commission, the Ministry of Labor, and the miners to reduce accidents in the mining sector. And it has once again appealed to all miners to recognize the fundamental importance of implementing good safety practices. Police in Lower Pomeroon, Essequibo are probing the drowning deaths of two young men, 29-year-old Devore Norton and 18-year-old Sherwin Adolphus. According to a police report on Sunday evening, the two men, who had been consuming alcoholic beverages at the Lake Mainstay Resort, left the resort in a Yamaha engine-powered boat. While proceeding along the Pomeroon River, their boat collided with a larger fishing vessel that was moored in the river, throwing the two men overboard. Persons in the area immediately started a search operation, but came up empty-handed overnight. It was not until this morning that the two bodies were found. A number of eyewitnesses are to be questioned about the deadly river incident. The probe is ongoing tonight. Police have arrested a Cummings Lodge East Coast Demerara man after he was found in possession of an unlicensed weapon and just over 16 ounces of raw gold. A police report said a 41-year-old man was spotted at a Supernam Stelling, and ranks decided to question him after he started to act in a suspicious manner. The bust took place at around 4 o'clock in the morning. During questioning, a search was carried out on the man, and the police ranks found a 9mm weapon and 6 live rounds stashed in his haversack, along with 2 pieces of raw gold. The man remains in police custody, and his gun and raw gold have been confiscated. An investigation has been launched by the police.
Combo pack of we feeling best. Sunshine stacks above the rest. There is no contest, is the best mix, so we feeling best. Best value to how you feeling. Ole cheesy, too much ripples and more combo pack of flavors galore, yeah. Combo pack of we feeling best. Sunshine stacks above the rest. There is no contest, is the best mix, so we feeling best.
Sunshine Snacks Combo Pack, now with a new look and new mix. Grab your pack today.
Best mix, so we feeling best.
Get a chance to win a brand new Toyota Race when you apply for a home loan. Get pre-approved by applying online, in bank, or at the Building Expo. Apply now. Promotion ends July 24, and the drawing will take place on the final day of the International Building Expo. Here's your chance to win and drive home a Toyota Race. GBTI, we see Guyana through your eyes.
Mobile Special and all other mobile lubricants are distributed by Sol Guyana Inc. Mobile Special and all other mobile lubricants are distributed by Sol Guyana Inc.
Doors and windows, Republic. Rooms and more, Republic. A brand new rug on the floor. Come to Republic, come to Republic. Whatever you need, you got it. Come through and get your mortgage. Live the dream with Republic.
95 to 100% financing, 50% waiver of negotiation fees, plus one lucky person gets their mortgage paid in full. Turn some day into today. Talk to Republic Bank about your low-cost mortgage today.
Win a full gaming setup, Xbox X, gaming chair, gaming speaker and headset, or any of over 60 weekly prizes like Oculus Quest 2, Mini 2 drone, Nintendo Switch, and many more top gaming prizes. Check below for details.
Fuel it up and drive, super 95. Tune up, fuel it up and drive, super 95. Tune up. Protect your fuel system, boy. High mileage and performance, boy.
Guyana's Super 95 gasoline gives you more reasons to drive and is available at 56 service stations nationwide. For affordable price, high performance, and high mileage, choose Guyana's Super 95 gasoline.
Fuel it up and drive.
A Across the region tonight, Barbados is being celebrated as proof that the International Monetary Fund, the IMF, is no longer the institution that pushes countries into economic reforms at the expense of pain and social dislocation. That was made clear by the managing director of the IMF, Kristalina Georgieva, who noted that unlike the tough structural adjustments of years gone by that give little consideration to the social cost, Barbados had emerged from its 4-year program a stronger economy without sacrificing the most vulnerable. She said the Barbados program is very successful and it is an example of agility and adaptability because of changing conditions. She also said the program was quick to adjust to the shocks which Barbados faced during the period, ensuring that the economic reforms did not add greater hardship to citizens and residents of the island. In South America, leftist Gustavo Petro, a former member of the M19 guerrilla movement who has vowed profound social and economic change, won Colombia's presidency yesterday, the first progressive to do so in the country's history. Petro beat construction magnate Rodolfo Hernandez with an unexpectedly wide margin of some 720,000 votes. The two had been technically tied in polling ahead of the vote. Petro, who is a former mayor of the Colombian capital of Bogota and current senator, has pledged to fight inequality with free university education, pension reforms, and high taxes on unproductive land. He won 50.5% to Hernandez's 47.3% of the vote. His proposals, especially a ban on new oil projects, have startled some investors, though he has promised to respect current contracts. And finally tonight, international news. Japan's ban on same-sex marriages does not violate the constitution, a district court in the city of Osaka has ruled. The ruling dealt a blow to gay couples and rights activists across Japan, after another district court ruled in 2021 that a failure to recognize same-sex marriage was unconstitutional. Japan's constitution defines marriage as one between both sexes. It is the only country in the G7 group of developed nations that does not allow people of the same gender to marry. Opinion polls show a majority of the general public in favor of allowing same-sex marriage in Japan. Several areas, including Tokyo, have begun issuing partnership certificates to help same-sex couples rent properties and gain hospital visitation rights. And that's your News Source Evening Bulletin for tonight. I'm Gordon Mosley, reporting and encouraging you to stay safe.